looking at the possibility of fundraising because you have impressive expansion plans. You want to double your capacity in the next 4 years. I know you've already lined up about 3,000 crores from a consortium of banks. What about the rest? Haven't you figured out your options so far, Puneet?
I think we are very close to it, and we have to raise about 100 to 200 million dollars in equity, depending upon our comfort level and the pricing that we get. I believe we should be able to make an announcement in this quarter. We are very close to concluding the process.
But what are the options that you're most inclined to? Because at that point in time when we spoke with you, there was a possibility of an FPO, there was the possibility of offloading some stake as far as Dalmia Cement Ventures, the wholly owned subsidiary, is concerned. What is the most preferable option or route at this point in time that you're exploring?
I think we are doing a mix of options. So we are going to raise some capital at Dalmia Cement Ventures level.
Okay.
We are also going to raise some capital, private equity type capital at the Dalmia Cement level.
Okay, so at the Dalmia Cement Ventures level, you're speaking with financial investors. At that point, there was a buzz of RNRL possibly being brought on board, but you had denied that possibility. You're talking to a clutch of financial investors as far as Dalmia Cement is concerned?
Yes, I think, the strategic, investor, there's always speculation, and we don't like to comment on speculation. So we had never spoken to RNRL. But I think we've been in touch with financial investors, and these are global private equity funds, who believe in the long-term India story.
So even as far as Dalmia Cement is concerned, it will be private equity that you are looking at this point in time?
No, at Dalmia Cement level, it will be more FII type investors.
Okay.
And I think we have been in touch with the best in India and the best in the world.
How much are you willing to offload at this point in time as far as Dalmia Cement is concerned? Because you said Actis has about 7%. That was a deal that you did in about 2006.
I think we own around 57% in Dalmia Cement at the moment. And I think, currently we are not looking then more than 10 to 15% dilution at the Dalmia Cement level.
So you're looking at about a 10 to 15% dilution to a clutch of FIIs.
Right.
And you're close to making that announcement. Will you be making both these announcements parallelly, or will they be individually made?
All these announcements will be made probably within this quarter.
A possible IPO as far as Dalmia Cement Ventures is concerned, because that was also a consideration. Are you going to push that back at this point in time, given the fact that you're offloading stake to financial investors?
I think our initial thought process was that we can do an IPO of a greenfield project. But given the fact that many IPOs which had greenfield projects went public and then did not match investor expectations because of the meltdown, we believe that we still want to start our construction, build these projects more to a little bit more visibility on commissioning, and then we will evaluate our IPO timing. Right now we are not looking at an IPO in Dalmia Cement Ventures Limited.
So it's not on the horizon for the next, say what, at least 12 to 18 months?
Absolutely.
Where are you actually seeing the uptick? Because we're seeing demand picking up, we're seeing a recovery as far as the real estate cycle is concerned. How are things looking on the cement side, and what about pricing? Because we've seen some degree of price hike coming into the market. Where are you seeing the cement prices headed?
I think in the next 2 years we are going to have a little bit volatility in pricing. And we saw that in November and December, where prices went down almost 20%. But prices have now bounced back up 10%. So the net correction in prices has been 10% since November. So I think next 2 years I am cautious on pricing. But on the demand side, I think we are very, very bullish. We believe that demand will continue to grow at around 8 to 9%. And if the infrastructure programs really take off, it could even grow in double digits.
Let's talk about sugar, because Gautam, that has been in the news, and we've seen the political battle lines being drawn as far as this business is concerned. But what's your take at this point in time? Is Mayawati likely to have her way, or is Sharad Pawar actually going to be able to sort of do what he's promised to do?
Yeah, they're waiting for the season to get over, and her take is that once the season gets over, then we'll allow for raw sugar to come into the state to get processed. Obviously that is causing, that's not great for the, for the country as a whole, because by doing that, we are losing good raw sugar processing capacity in the country, right? And we are hopeful. There is dialogue going on between, we are dialoguing with the central government, also dialoguing with the state government. So let's hope that things get sorted out.
But how confident are you feeling? Because, you've seen realizations move up as far as sugar is concerned. You've seen volumes move up for yourself over 40% or so. So how robust is the sugar business looking for you at this point in time?
I think it's very strong right now. and we expect the prices to stay at these levels at least for another 6 months, maybe to 8 months to a.
And what about your expansion plans as far as sugar is concerned?
We are looking at both organic and inorganic opportunities. We are right now predominantly in the state of UP,
Yeah.
and we have looked at opportunities in other states, mostly southern states, in the states of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. So we are in talks with people there for greenfield sites as well as for acquisitions.
And what would be the most preferred option at this point? And is it a good time to go shopping, or you think your sort of organic growth would be what you would like to
No,
look
no, I
at?
think it's a good time to go shopping, we are currently in conversations with people, for some fairly good assets.
How soon do you actually intend to close this? And these are southern players that you're talking to.
That's right. That's right. Not during the season. Once the season gets over, then hopefully we might see some closures.
Okay, you're talking about acquisitions on the sugar side. You've stayed away from acquisitions on the cement side, but I remember you saying that perhaps this is the right opportunity or the right time to actually think about the inorganic route on the cement side, especially to give you pricing power. Are you now open to inorganic strategies as far as cement is concerned?
I think M&A in cement is going to be difficult because this time around, balance sheets of most players are very strong. It's not easy to, get control deals to be done. So our own view is that our base case plan is greenfield. But if some acquisition opportunities present themselves, we hope that we will create a balance sheet which will be able to take advantage of
nothing at
such
this point.
opportunities. Nothing at this point.
What to your mind is the biggest challenge that you're actually facing as far as your greenfield expansion is concerned? Because land acquisition, a lot of it you've actually done, you're tying up the funding. What continues to be the big challenge for you?
I think the big challenge in greenfield expansion is actually land and access to raw materials. And we have done that for the last 2 years. So at least for these projects, we have been able to make some progress. But if I look at our next 10 years planning, I think getting land, getting raw materials and getting energy security is going to be our biggest challenges. And more than that, I think the challenge for a company like us will be to create a great team which can continue to execute on the promises that we make. So we are on an aggressive plan, aggressive investment plan. We have to scale up the systems and processes in the company.
But you're on track to double by 2014.
Yes, I think that is something we are ready for. But our plans are that India will be a 500 million ton market by 2020. So we would like at least to have between 8 to 10% market share in the country by that time.
How close are you to that aspiration of getting 10% of the domestic market share?
I think we have projects right now, concrete projects worth around 30 million tons.
I think we're very close. We have incubated sites and fairly advanced stages, in different states. Rajasthan, Himachal, MP, and also in Karnataka. So we are at a fairly advanced stage of incubating these sites. Also Meghalaya. So we have a kind of a pan-Indian, footprint.
So this decade
possibility
is really going
available.
to be, this decade is going to be about your pan-India aspirations,
Absolutely,
isn't it?
absolutely.
Here, let me talk to you about your aspirations as far as the power side of the business is concerned.
Yeah.
160 megawatts you're
Yes,
supplying to the
currently.
northern grid.
Yeah.
Where do things currently stand and where would you like to take them?
See, 160 is our existing capacity. About 90 megawatts is also under installation, right? Which would get commissioned in the next 6 to 8 months. And after that, we are also aggressively looking at opportunities in the solar space,
Okay.
both in states of Gujarat and in Rajasthan, where they have favorable, policies.
Policies,
The
yeah.
states have favorable policies,
Yeah.
and of course, recently there was an announcement made by the Prime Minister on the National Solar Mission, right, which is also very encouraging. So, looking at this, all of this put together, we see a lot of potential in large, megawatt scale solar,
So when you
power
talk about
opportunities.
solar, are you talking photovoltaic or are you talking
We
about...
are looking at a combination of technologies actually.
Okay.
We've scouted, we are having conversations again with various people, some in Germany, some in China, some in the US, where we are evaluating various technologies, both in PV as well as solar thermal.
And how soon will you actually get started with these plans?
Hopefully in the next year, in the next financial year. We already have a site for 10 megawatts and we'll hopefully activate it in the next
Also
financial
fairly
year.
capital intensive business. So have you got funding tied up as far as your power plans are concerned?
See, again, there are conversations. I don't think, it's not been fully tied up as yet, but I don't see difficulty in being able to do that, right? Because there is a lot of, positive response from whomever we have spoken to.
But are you
we see a
considering
lot
an
of-
IPO, considering the fact that everybody in the power business has tapped the IPO market?
Maybe that would be something, that we would look at also.
And
right?
how soon would that be?
Very difficult to say right now.
But could we look at that in the financial year?
See, again, as he says, not at the greenfield stage.
Okay.
Maybe we will take the project, to a certain level, and then we will look at those options.
How do you sort of deal with the fact that you're operating in these very, very regulated businesses?
I think we respect the political compulsion. The only thing that we feel sometimes a little bit, frustrated about is that in India things take too much time.